Don't even think about opening that rulebook. I see you reaching for it. Stop. Just pretend it's a cursed artifact from the Bronze Age and go bury it in your backyard. I'm Ryan from How I Roll, and in this Rip Up the Rules, I'm going to teach you how to play Millennia Tracks of Time so you can kiss that rulebook goodbye. Millennia Tracks of Time is designed by Mike Yao and Orestes Leontoritis, and it's published by Karma Games, who also helped sponsor this video. It's a competitive civilization builder for 1 to 4 players, and playtime runs about 2 hours or so. I've also reviewed this game, which you can watch right here. So come on, grab your preferred beverage and pull up a seat at the table. I'm going to teach you how to set up and play Millennia Tracks of Time. If you've ever wanted to see if you could do a better job of building a nation than the leaders of old, now's your chance. In Millennia Tracks of Time, you lead a civilization all the way from the Bronze Age through the Modern Age and all the way into the Future Age. You will be advancing on 7 tracks representing different aspects of your progress. All of this while developing new technologies and managing the passing of time as your older technologies become obsolete. Will you emerge even greater than Alexander, more peaceful than Gandhi, or with a bigger top hat than good old Honest Abe? Let's dive in and find out. Here's how you set up the game. The game board has 2 unique sides for added variety. Choose a side and place it in the middle of the table. I've chosen side A1 for this video. Put the supply of gold nearby. Give these book tokens a good mix, and at random, put 1 face up on each book icon on the advancement tracks. Place the age marker on age 1 of the age track. Shuffle the diplomacy deck, setting it up beside this icon at the bottom of the board. Shuffle the research cards and randomly place 4 face up by the icons at the bottom of the board. Return the rest of the cards to the box. Place the research point cards next to these cards. Shuffle the prosperity deck and place it face down above the board. Deal 2 cards face up per player, displaying their icons like this. Over here is the tech draft area. To set this up, shuffle the age 1 tech cards and take 2 that you will mix together with the 2 blank tech cards. Then deal these 4 cards face up in a column next to the board. Then deal the remaining 12 age 1 tech cards face up to create a 4x4 grid of cards. Now separate the remaining cards based on the age depicted on their back and shuffle up each pile, placing it near the tech area for future use. Finally, place the Joker tech cards in this area as well. If you're playing with only 2 or 3 players, cover the depicted spots for higher player counts in the tech draft area of the board with markers of an unused player color. Since I'm setting up for 3 players, this is what it would look like. Over here is where wonders are displayed. Shuffle up the age 1 wonder cards and place 2 here, and do the same with the age 2 wonder cards, putting 2 here. Remove the rest of the age 1 and 2 wonder cards from the game. Similarly to the future tech cards, prepare the future wonders by separating the cards by age, shuffling them up, and placing them here. And here's the area for the building cards. Mix up the age 1 building cards and place 2 cards per player next to these building icons and remove the rest from the game. Again, I'm setting up a 3-player game, so I've placed 3 sets of 2 cards. Prepare the future building cards just like you did with the tech cards and the wonder cards. Next, each player should choose a color and take all the wooden tokens, victory point tiles, and sleep cards of that color, as well as a player aid. Now place your 7 markers on the 0 space of each track and your victory point token on the 0 spot of the scoring track. And the last thing you need to do is randomly select a starting player and give them this starter card number 1. Then give the next player in clockwise order starter card 2, and so on until every player has 1 starter card. All players immediately gain any benefits depicted on these cards, which will include handing out the leader and architect tokens to the first 2 players respectively. Wow, that was a lot of card shuffling. LMFAO would be very proud. But now we're set up and ready to go. A quick note about all those card piles. If that takes up too much space for your table, which it very well might, you can just stack the future cards on top of each other or set them off to the side until they're needed. It's not necessary to have them right beside the board like that, although it does look pretty epic. A game of Millennia is played over 8 ages, or rounds, representing the progression of time. Each of these 8 ages is broken into 7 phases, which probably sounds like a lot, but most of them are quite simple. I always love games that offer great player aids, and this game comes with an awesome one. I strongly recommend using it to progress through these phases to make sure that you're not missing anything. And now, at long last, let's dive in. In Phase A, you'll be drafting tech cards and special actions. Starting with the player who has the leader token and moving in clockwise order, players take turns placing one of their draft markers onto an empty space in the draft area. Continue taking turns doing this until all players have placed all 4 of their draft markers. If you put your marker in one of these 4 tech areas, you immediately gain a tech card from that row and place it face up in front of you. But you can never take one of these blank techs. I'm not sure why you would want a blank tech anyways. They don't do anything. If you place your marker in this bottom section, you don't do anything now, but you'll get a special action in an upcoming phase. And note that while most of the draft spots can only contain 1 player marker, any number of markers can be placed at this very bottom action. Let's pause here and quickly talk about these tech cards, as they basically run everything in this game. Here's a breakdown of what's on these cards. On the left, each tech displays an icon showing its type. There are 14 different types in the game, and the tech card deck of each age has exactly 1 of each type. So every age, players will have access to exactly 1 of every tech type. These icons will matter in Phase B and Phase E, and I'll explain how when we get there. On the right-hand side of the card, you'll see some numbers which signify the duration of the card. A massive element of this game is that some things become obsolete over time, particularly techs and buildings. I'll show you exactly how this works in Phase G, but for now, just understand that these tech cards aren't permanent, and you're going to lose them at the latest age shown on the card. So this gunpowder card would go obsolete and be discarded at the end of age 6. Lastly, exactly 4 of these tech cards have a special effect depicted in this area of the card. Here's a quick rundown. When you draft an army card, you immediately gain the leader token, which means you'll get to go first in the draft phase of the following age. However, other players also get a gold benefit as noted on the back side of the leader token. The player to your left gets 0, which isn't very exciting, but if there are at least 3 players, the player to their left gets 2 gold, and if there's a 4th player, they receive 4 gold. If you draft an engineering tech, you immediately receive the architect token, which will only matter in Phase D, so I'll explain when we get there. Similarly, the effective communication techs come into play in Phase B, and energy techs play a role in Phase C. So again, I'll just explain those when we get there because they'll make more sense at that point. Throughout the game, you might also gain these joker techs, which are wild and count as any of the 14 tech symbols during the action phase. However, they can't be used during the prosperity phase. Speaking of which, let's move on to Phase B, prosperity. This phase is your only opportunity to advance on the orange prosperity track at the top of the board, and if you want to make it to the top, you will need to achieve this every single age. Moving up on this track offers a significant amount of points at the end of the game. Players simultaneously check if they currently have tech that match any pair of the displayed prosperity cards. If so, you move up 1 space on the track. These icons can only come from tech cards, and remember, joker techs can't be used. For example, these 2 tech cards match this pair of prosperity cards, which would bump me up on the track. You can only go up 1 space per age, even if you match 2 pairs, or 5 pairs, or even 1,000 pairs, at which point we know you're cheating. Remember the special effect on the communication tech cards? Well, each communication tech that you have grants you 3 gold if you are able to achieve prosperity this age. Now on to everyone's favorite phase, income, where you get to get paid. All players simultaneously gain gold based on their position on the trade track. So in this situation, the gray player would get 2 gold and the white player would get 1. And you also get the amount of gold listed beside each of your draft markers in the tech area. Now notice this lock symbol above the 5 gold in this area. Anyone can place a marker here, but in order to gain this income, you'll need to have one of these unlock icons displayed on one of your cards, which is the special effect that we saw in those energy tech cards. Everyone starts the game with an unlock symbol on their starter card, but this will be lost at the end of the first age. So in this situation, the gray player would get 5 gold if they had an unlock symbol, plus 3 for a total of 11. In Phase D, we get to put our hard-earned gold to work and construct some awesome buildings and wonders. In this phase, the player with the architect token goes first, and then play continues around the table in clockwise order and keeps going until all players have passed. On your turn, you have 2 options. You can either construct something, a building or a wonder, or you can pass. To build, you first choose any one of the face-up buildings or a face-up wonder from the current age. These wonders up here are just a glimpse into the future and will be available for construction in the following age. Pay the gold cost of the building or wonder and place it in your player area. The player with the architect token not only gets first dibs, but they also get to flip this token over for a 3 gold discount on one of their building turns. Speaking of discounts, the construction phase is where this brown influence track comes into play. Your position on it impacts the price of constructing wonders, which is what this icon symbolizes. The further you are along it, the greater a price break you get. This player here would currently receive a discount of 4 gold on any wonder they build. So if they chose to build the Taj Mahal, they would pay 16 gold instead of 20 gold. If you can't build, or don't want to build on one of your turns, simply pass. Once you pass, you're out of this phase and play continues around the table without you. You might start to feel a little lonely. Once all players have passed, the phase ends. Before we move on, here's what you need to know about buildings and wonders. Brown and green buildings offer various in-game benefits including tech icons or unique effects. This game has an amazing appendix which you can and should reference to know what each building does, so I'm not going to go over all of them, but here are a few examples. This castle gives you either 1 army, 1 weaponry, or 1 military tech. The Ironworks lets you draw 1 Joker tech card. And Space Administration lets you score your current position on the war track. Yellow buildings and wonders award points at the end of the game based on various factors. Again, these are all in the appendix, but I'll show you how a couple work. The Great Library gives you 3 points for each of your green buildings at the end of the game. The Exhibition Hall will be worth 17 points if you've made it to the end of both the trade track and the influence track. And the Statue of Liberty gives you 2 points for each book token you have activated throughout the game. Alright. Now we're about to enter phase E, which is the big action-taking phase. So I want to do a really quick recap of what we've done up until this point. In phase A, we placed our 4 draft markers to gain tech cards and claim special actions for later. In phase B, we checked if we moved up on the prosperity track. Phase C gave us income based on our draft markers and progress on the trade track, and in phase D, we constructed buildings and wonders. Now in phase E, we put everything we've collected to work and endeavor to advance our societies as far as we can. This phase is intended to be played simultaneously, but if there are new players learning, it might be a good idea to walk through these actions together just to make sure that everyone understands what the heck they're doing. The main thing you'll be doing in this phase is spending tech cards and buildings to advance along the 6 remaining tracks. This is excluding the prosperity track. Before going through all of the available actions, I want to explain 2 key concepts that will make all of this fairly simple. First off, spending tech cards and buildings. All of your tech cards offer their unique tech icons, and your green and brown buildings will give you tech icons or other benefits. In order to utilize these benefits or tech icons, you have to spend these cards. You don't lose the card when you do this, you simply exhaust it by turning it on its side so it looks like it's lying down and taking a nap. It is, after all, exhausted. This just signifies that this card can no longer be used for this age, but don't worry, exhausted cards are refreshed at the end of every age. The only exception is building cards that have this symbol. They don't need to be exhausted and can be utilized multiple times per round. Also, Joker techs are a one-time use and are placed back in the pile when used. The second thing I want to explain is how you advance on these tracks. Various effects will cause you to move up on these tracks, represented by icons that look like this. When you do, simply advance your marker forward 1 spot. Any symbols on these book tiles or that have an outline that matches the track's color represent benefits that you gain immediately. These can be gold, cards, track advancements, and more. Again, the appendix has all of these icons very clearly laid out for your reference. All other effects are ongoing bonuses that trigger when the icon shows, such as these endgame points, these income boosts, and these discounts for building wonders. If you come to a fork in the road when advancing, you can choose which way you'd like to go. And if you encounter one of these lock icons, this means that you can't advance past here unless you've gained this track's unlock color on another track. For example, you can't move past this point on the war track until you've reached this spot on the population track. With those 2 key ideas in mind, let's dive into this phase. Players may take as many actions as they like and can afford, and can do them in any order they choose, and can even take the same action multiple times. Once all players have completed all their actions, the phase ends. All of the available actions that you can choose from are clearly laid out in various areas of the board. Let's break down these actions. First, track actions. Each track has a tech cost listed to the left of it. Simply exhaust the depicted icons listed on top and gain the benefit below. For the trade track, spend 1 economy tech as well as 1 transportation or energy. In return, you can either move up 1 spot on the trade track or gain 6 gold. For the influence track, spend 1 economy tech and 3 techs in any combination of natural science, government, arts, and agriculture to advance 1 space and also receive 3 gold and 3 victory points. At the war track, you spend any 1 red tech, army, weaponry, or military to advance 1 space, or spend 1 weaponry and 1 military to advance 3 spaces. Advancing on the politics track costs 1 government and 1 social science. Moving up on the population track takes 1 agriculture and 1 medicine tech. And finally, you can spend 1 arts and 1 social science to progress on the culture track. Players can also take special actions if they placed a draft marker in this area during phase A. Simply remove your draft marker and take the action. These top 5 offer free track advancements, so you don't need to spend any text for these, just move up the tracks accordingly. This space lets you take a 3-value research point card. I'll explain how this card is used a little bit later. And lastly, this unlimited space grants you a Joker tech, which you just draw from this pile. At the very bottom right of the board, you can spend 1 communication and 1 energy tech to take the diplomacy action. Draw 2 diplomacy cards from the deck, keep your favorite of the 2, and discard the other. If this deck ever runs out of cards, shuffle the discard pile to reset it. These diplomacy cards have a range of special effects that they offer as depicted in this main area of the card. The majority of these cards must be played and discarded during the action phase, but a few of them display a different phase in which they can be used, such as this card that impacts the construction phase. All of these cards also have this same secondary option at the bottom, meaning that during any phase you can discard it to simply take 3 gold or 3 victory points. Again, I won't go over all of these cards as they're laid out in the appendix. I know. I've referenced the appendix a lot. This video is meant to let you skip the rulebook, but you're still going to need to rely on the appendix for icon and card clarifications. After all, this video isn't called Rip Up the Appendix. Above the diplomacy action, we find 3 auxiliary actions, which is basically where you can trade stuff if you're in a pinch. At any time, you can pay 7 gold to gain a Joker tech, or spend any 2 techs to gain a Joker tech, or spend any 1 tech to gain 2 gold. And last but certainly not least, this area of the board is dedicated to the powerful research action. This action is unique because all the other actions can be taken as many times as you like, but each player can only do research once per age, so use it wisely. No pressure. To take this action, add up all the research point cards that you have. These can be gained from the special action, diplomacy cards, book tokens, building effects, and more. You now have the option to spend text to add to this total research value based on this chart here. You can perform any of these trades as many times as you'd like. Then you can choose and resolve exactly one of these 4 effects as long as your research total is high enough to pay for it. These effects are slightly different on the other side of the board, but if you understand these, the other side will make sense too. This effect gives you 5 points. This one lets you either advance on the war track 3 spaces and gain 6 points, or claim a research card. I'll explain what that means in just a moment. This effect offers 10 gold and 8 points, or you can claim a research card and gain 5 points. And this one gives you 18 points and allows you to take any one of the special actions. At the end of this action, discard all of your research point cards back to their pile. Now, if you chose to claim a research card during this phase, place one of your research markers on your color space of a research card you haven't already claimed. You now have access to the benefits of this card for the rest of the game. In this example, I have 7 research points from these research point cards. I decide to exhaust a natural science tech to add 2 more research points, bringing my total up to 9. So I could afford to do this effect, or this effect. I think I want to take 5 victory points and claim a research card, putting my research marker right there. Phew, we did it! We made it through the action phase, and trust me, the heavy lifting is over. The final 2 phases happen pretty quickly and automatically. Are you ready? Let's go. Phase F reminds us that no great civilization story is complete without conflict and war. Where would be the fun in that? In the war phase, all players move their war track tokens down an equal number of spaces until the lowest player has arrived at 0. If someone was already at 0 at the start of this phase, just skip it. See? Told you that phase was easy. And at last, the final phase, Phase G, Upkeep. In this phase, you'll be discarding everything that has gone obsolete and preparing for the next age. Each player discards all Joker techs, all research point cards, all obsolete tech cards, and puts any obsolete brown and green buildings on their respective sleep cards. Then refresh all of your remaining exhausted tech cards and buildings, as well as the architect token if it was used this age. On the main board, do the following to set up for the upcoming age. Return all draft markers to their owners. Discard the prosperity cards and draw 2 per player, shuffling the discard pile to form a new deck if necessary. Shuffle the drawn cards and set up the prosperity area like you did at the start of the game. Discard all remaining tech cards from the current age. Slide the 2 blank techs down 1 space, wrapping around if necessary. Take the next age's deck and refill the card area the same way as you did during setup. Refresh the building area in the exact same way, removing current age cards and placing 2 cards per player in the building area from the upcoming age. Remove any remaining cards from the game. Remove any wonders from the current age, slide down the 2 future age wonders, and set out 2 new future age wonders from the deck that is the age after the one you're about to enter. Remove unused cards from the game. Finally, move the age marker 1 space forward and you're ready to do it all over again. The new age begins with Phase A and goes through the exact same flow. That was quite a bit of info, but trust me, if you just take it phase by phase, it actually flows quite smoothly and intuitively, and you'll be right into it in no time. Keep playing like this until age 8, which is the future age, where you'll be gaining some crazy Star Wars type techs. After the action phase, phase D of age 8, the game ends and you go straight to final scoring. The points you'll gain are laid out on the board here and also on the back of the starter player cards. But here's a breakdown of what you'll get points for. Score points for the highest victory point value you've reached on the prosperity track, the population track, and the culture track. Gain points for the value of your position on the influence track multiplied by your position on the politics track. Multiply your position on the war track by 2 and take those points. Score points for your yellow buildings and wonders based on each card's unique criteria. And lastly, get 3 points for each unused diplomacy card you still have. And the player with the most points wins and is crowned the greatest conqueror to ever walk the planet. However, if there's a tie, the tied player who went later in turn order at the beginning of age 1, which is indicated by whoever has the highest number starter card, is declared the winner. But don't worry, win or lose, you all made a civilization that your mom is so proud of. And that, my friends, is Millennia, Tracks of Time without even having to read the rulebook. Just a bit of referencing the appendix. There's also a solo mode, which you can find in the rulebook if you didn't actually bury it in your backyard. Thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot. If you found this video helpful, would you please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button? Also, if you have any questions or rule clarifications about the game, drop a comment below and you'll hear right back from me. To learn more about Millennia, you can find the Board Game Geek link in the description below, as well as a link to the Karma Games website where you can purchase a copy of Millennia or any of their other amazing games. Thanks for rolling with me through this installment of Rip Up the Rules. May your civilization outlast them all. See you next time.